All right. Hello. Hmm?
Oh.
Hmm?
What?
Oh, there it is. Okay. Load, dang it. Hello, 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 and welcome back. I am the James with the Games, and welcome back to being part of the missing members. And I'm here with Berserker Bahamut.
Hello.
And we're here for a bit of a different video.
It's not even a homebrew review or even another playthrough of another game yet. We're going over a different TTRPG. We're putting the spotlight on a TTRPG system.
Yes, everyone here probably has already heard of this already, but this is DC20. I backed at the $145 level, everyone. And don't worry, that doesn't break my bank or anything. I genuinely thought this looked good, and that was the tier that gave me the stuff I wanted. So, my weird thing is that whenever I go ahead and back stuff on Kickstarter or anything like that, I always only back it to the level of stuff that I actually want. Like, I'm never interested in, like, the super special covers or anything like that. I'm like, give me the frickin' book. I want an actual physical copy of the dang book. If you give that to me, I'm happy.
Exactly. Or sometimes if it comes to a Kickstarter for a particular game, they will also mention you as one of the backers and probably give you something special for it.
Well, here's my thing, is that if the tier that gives you a mention in the backing is above the one that gives you the physical copy of the book, I never don't back it that highly.
Fair enough.
But we're going to start on page 8, dealing with the attributes and looking at how the entire system works.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Starting with attributes. I'll let you handle the reading because I was doing all of this when I first saw this with him.
Well, you mainly just looked through the table of contents, didn't you?
Actually, I did go and read through attributes and whatnot.
Oh, okay. There's 4 attributes: might, agility, intelligence, and wisdom. Each attribute can have a value.
Might, agility, intelligence, and charisma.
Oh, charisma. I said wisdom, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Intelligence is listed as part of wisdom. Well, wisdom is listed as part of the intelligence attribute.
Boing. Oh, speaking of which, we need to reset our counters. Remove. Pull you up. Stop. Start. Times divide by stop. Ta-da! The counters are reset.
There you go.
And might is your strength of body, your agility is your balance, nimbleness, dexterity, intelligence is your reasoning and understanding, charisma is charm, presence, persuasiveness, and force of will. Might, heavy armor has a minimum might requirement to use properly. Your might is added to your maximum health. So your might also is considered your constitution. Checks made to initiate and escape grapples use athletic checks. Might also contributes to lifting, pushing, dragging, throwing, and encumbrance. Might saves are made to resist effects that push you away, knock you down, or crush you. Your agility is added to your physical defense. Checks made to escape grapples. Agility also contributes to jumping and reducing damage taken from falling. Agility saves resist effects that reduce your speed, cause you to lose your balance, or can be avoided by dodging out of the way. You want to roleplay a PC that's nimble, light on their feet, and good with their hands, then agility is for you. If you want to roleplay a PC that's the go-to for being the strong one and overpowering your enemies, then might is for you. Also, one thing that I do know ahead of time in this system, none of the classes are tied to a specific attribute. I know this ahead of time. Which means that you can play a might-based spellcaster.
No.
Or a... What?
No. I get that heresy out of my ears. Freaking might-based spellcasters.
What? Have you never heard of the Muscle Wizard before?
No.
I think we just had him nope out of existence.
I've already had enough of spellcasters taking away the thunder of martials. I don't want to hear it again.
But you can similarly have a charismatic fighter.
That could still work though, because it's not taking away from the bard's whole gig. Capiche?
Your charisma, anything related to socially interacting with creatures, your appearance, mannerisms, and the words you say is charisma. It's added to your mystical defense. Oh, interesting. Your agility is added to your physical defense, but both your int and charisma is added to your mystical defense. Charisma can contribute to a language check made to understand languages you had limited fluency with. You gain a number of grit points equal to your charisma. Social skill checks use charisma, such as skills to influence other creatures or gain insights into their actions or behaviors. Charisma saves are made to resist effects that alter your emotions or dominate your will. Intelligence. This represents your reasoning, understanding, and wisdom. Anything that is related to a person's intellectual capacity, or overall knowledge falls under intelligence. It's commonly associated with at least the second bullet point is the exact same from charisma.
Bruh.
You gain a number of bonus skill points to spend on more skills! Yes! Sorry. That is something that is a thing in Pathfinder, and I love it.
Speaking of Pathfinder...
What?
Speaking of Pathfinder... You didn't tell them, did you?
It's mainly because I haven't set it in stone, and I still need my bosses to agree on letting my schedule change. Since they bloody haven't decided a dang thing, which irritates me, mainly because of the fact that my Tony will not go ahead and actually say, yes, you are permitted to do this. Let's see how it works out. And JP is so aloof at times, he doesn't really go ahead and actually confirm, yes, you can do this.
Ah.
And I have so much freaking downtime at the office. And part of it's just that the actual workflow is such a freaking mess. Trying to go ahead and do... Literally the only consistent thing that I'm given to do are freaking cash flows at this point. And solely because of a freaking argument that is being held over non-systematic distributions, which is driving me insane, by the way. Literally doing the cash flows feels completely meaningless because of the cash flows can't freaking reconcile. Anyways, knowledge checks use intelligence, such as nature, religion, occultism, history, or arcana. Insights are used to resist effects that read your thoughts, alter your memories, confuse you, or use illusions to deceive your senses. You want a PC that's the smartest person in the room and just knows things, then intelligence is for you. You start with an array of 3, 1, 0, and -2, and assign each value to an attribute of your choice. You then gain 2 additional attribute points to increase whichever attribute you want up to the attribute limit of 3. Meaning, in essence, you can do 3, 2, 1, -2, 3, 2, 0, -1, 3, 3, 0, -2, 3, 2, 1, -2, 3, 1, 0, 0, and I think I'm missing like one or two possible iterations, but you get the idea. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. This is interesting. There's a roll method for determining ability scores in this, which is 1d6 minus 3. So, I want to just roll this, just to see. I genuinely want to see how this would go ahead and equate. -1, 0, -2, -2!
You suck!
I know I do. Okay. This is just me, but this actually makes it so that way standard array in this system is by far the most optimal method to take for your ability scores. And the reason I say this is because of the fact that, in essence, the standard array will make all of your stats like you will have a better average than what I just rolled. Because if you have to roll a 6 in order to start with a 3 in anything, You can increase your attributes as you gain levels, but you can't increase an attribute past your attribute limit. The attribute limit increases as certain levels as shown in the table below. You can increase an attribute at the same level that your attribute limit increases. As your player character levels up, they will regularly gain more attribute points to increase their attributes. They gain 1 at 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10. Okay. So this is a 10 level system. We have to keep this in mind. It's interesting because of... I don't see 10 level systems made that often. The only other 10 level system I can think of is Dungeon Crawl Classics, if I remember right. And Dungeon Crawl Classics only had like 4 classes. Your prime modifier represents your overall experience and prowess as an adventurer. Your prime modifier is the primary bonus you add to checks involving attacking, casting, or awareness of dangers around you. Prime modifier is commonly associated with attack checks, spell checks, save DCs, and awareness checks. Interesting. Value of prime modifier is always equal to the value of your highest attribute. Your highest attribute changes. Your prime modifier derives from the value of your new highest attribute. Prime modifier is not an attribute, nor is it considered the attribute that it derives its value from. Instead of the prime modifier being determined by a PC's highest attribute, instead equal to their attribute limit, which means it will always be maxed out no matter where you put your attribute points. This rule is designed for players who want to create a PC that's more well-rounded and doesn't have 1 or 2 main attributes they lean heavily on. This rule allows for players to have more freedom in character creation because their prime modifier will always be set start at 3 and progress with their level. Okay, I already like this. I already like this. Oh, and they give examples of things that you can do via your various different skills. I like this. I like this. I really wish I could remember this guy's freaking name right now. Alan Bjorkgren. I hope I pronounced your name right. I suck at pronunciation, and my voice sounds like gravel. So what are we at? Skills?
Yep, skills, trades, and languages.
The awareness skill uses your prime attribute, which is interesting. Basically, it makes sense that everyone is good at perception, because of... It's always weird if you make a character in a system that has a negative wisdom score, and they literally can't see. It's like, I see nothing. The funniest thing is that that's literally what's happening to the barbarian I'm playing in my Pathfinder game. Because if I think I went ahead and I nerfed her wisdom score. So literally on every single perception check, she sees absolutely nothing.
Yep.
It's like, you see the ground. How do I see the ground? I'm standing up. You've literally tripped and fallen face first into the planks of the ship. Now I understand why I see the ground. climbing, swimming, jumping, grappling, threaten violence, forceful Oh, you can attempt to boss someone around with your intimidating strength. I don't think you realize this. That's actually very useful to have as part of the rules. And it's mainly because of the fact that you realize that that's both like a contested save in most systems, and two, straight up, it's annoying when you're trying to use intimidation to, like, command someone to do something, and they just pass their wisdom save. Okay, I do notice one thing that I actually don't like here. Which is that stunts under acrobatics is a bit too, like, narrow in definition and scope. Mainly because of, you can have stunts that are strength-based that wouldn't fall under the stunts listed here. And, in my opinion, there should be some sort of athletic stunts listed under athletics that one could feasibly do based off of might, because of, like, going ahead, lifting a boulder, ripping it in two above your head, and slamming it down in front of someone is an athletic stunt.
Yep.
Yet, that's one of the things that isn't picked up by the rules here. So, this is still version 0.8, so hopefully they add that into a future iteration. We have sleight of hand, forgery, concealing objects, traps, sneaking and hiding, search and discovery, analysis and research. Ooh, good! Research is its own separate thing under investigation. Normally, every time I see investigation, it's under, like, searching something or deducing something from a distance, which is a very narrow definition of investigation. What?
Nothing. And
you're allowed to butt in as well.
I know. I was just agreeing on the standpoint of the matter there, and unfortunately also yawning in between in my answer.
Treating wounds, diagnose cause, and forensics.
You could be a criminal investigator with this!
Okay, I like the fact that forensics is identified here, because if that is not something used by most systems is a thing for medicine.
You could literally do an autopsy of something if you're trying to investigate a murder or something.
Exactly! That's great to have put into the system as part of its definition.
In other words, you could be like Ducky from NCIS.
And the irony is that it makes more sense for that to be under medicine instead of investigation, because of nearly every single time I see someone asking to check a body for, like, wounds, it is either a passive perception thing, a perception check, or an investigation check. And I kind of hate that. Because medicine is one of those skills that really is underutilized in most systems. Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly, whereas the medicine skill itself could easily be used for something like an autopsy report in the middle of a criminal investigation.
And honestly, diagnose cause, it would actually be more useful here.
Yeah,
mainly because
diagnose cause and forensics would work hand in hand together within the confines of a criminal investigation and via.
oh no, I'm not just talking about that. It's because of how this is worded. It says attempting to discern the cause or cure of a poison, disease, or injury. The reason this is helpful, and the reason this broadens the use of this, is that means you can actually tell what a person is sick with, or what disease they contracted from that rusty nail.
In this case, tetanus.
I get that, but it could be some sort of fantasy tetanus.
Oh no. Oh no.
And based off the base rules of like 5e, you wouldn't be able to tell that from the medicine skill. So this is automatically better than how most systems rule medicine. Survival, tracking and foraging, this is standard. Hunting. Okay, attempting to harvest materials from slain creatures, such as extracting poisons. Removing carapaces, skinning pelts, etc. So, this is already useful because of its identifying things later in the document, and hopefully stuff that will be more extensive in this system.
That entire hunting example is perfect if you're running a campaign, say based off of the world of a particular video game series called Monster Hunter. Where literally, the players in that game basically constantly go hunting monsters, trapping them, capturing them, or killing them, and basically carving materials off of the monsters and then using said monster materials to make better weapons and armor, or to go on the hunt again for more materials from different monsters.
And navigation. Avoid natural hazards in the area. Oh my goodness. That one line makes survival so much better.
I smell rangers actually being good.
Yes. And you can actually be a meteorologist because if you can predict the local weather.
Ooh.
That's honestly pretty nice.
Nice.
Honestly, the first one will be interesting, especially if we see in later iterations of this system if teleportation is common.
Right.
This is because of, I just watched a video by the Grungeon Master, and genuinely, he made a really good point of if teleportation circles are a thing in a setting, that realistically, the paths between cities basically become completely abandoned and overrun, meaning that actual navigation on foot is time-consuming and dangerous, which I actually feel like makes a lot of sense. So that would actually mean having survival would be imperative to knowing where you're going on such dilapidated thoroughways.
Next up is knowledge.
Arcana, history, nature, occultism, and religion.
I love the way
DC
you
can
say
also
occultic.
create a unique custom lore skill that covers a specific domain of knowledge that they may have experience in.
I love the
I
way you said
like that.
occultism. It's like you're trying to shout heresy.
Well, I do that. I'm saying that because of I like the fact that there is a specific, like, knowledge branch specifically dealing with knowledge of basically unholy things.
Meaning that's a very good skill. Like, say if a player character is based off of something like Dante from Devil May Cry, aka a devil hunter.
Exactly.
Who,
Because there's a
ironically-
big difference
who
between
ironically,
a celestial and a devil in most systems.
yeah, whereas the term demon is sort of is sort of a broad term for used within the world of Devil May Cry.
Fair. I was more saying that because of in 5e, even though devils, demons, and celestials are fiends and celestials are two different creature types. Devils and demons are basically two completely different things. And even more so than that, knowledge for both of them fall under religion, which I feel like is too broad of a category for both of them to be under.
Exactly, like, it's just weird, like, but yeah, then again, there are particular questionable religions that worship demons.
Yes. So we have Arcana, knowledge of constructs, monstrosities, and oozes, planes of existence, and the creature who inhabit those planes. So basically, Arcana is also filling the role of planar knowledge here from
Yep.
Pathfinder, which is interesting because of use magic device, spellcraft, and knowledge planes are three separate skills in Pathfinder.
Yep.
History is historical events, conflicts, and wars. Creatures such as humanoids, giants, and dragons. Lost civilization, kingdoms, and legends. Okay, I feel like this. Okay, one of the other things is that this feels like a system where there will eventually be a thing that basically says that, oh, we can go ahead and roll the corresponding knowledge skill to learn more about this creature, because of our character would realistically know what this creature is.
Yep.
Nature. Primal and elemental mana. Earth, fire, water, air, and lightning. Elementals, fae, plants, and beasts. Natural parts of the world. Okay, so nature also basically means, honestly, a person with knowledge, nature, and survival really does a group good. because of basically that means you both know the geography, you know how to orient yourself, and you know what, like, the actual topography is.
Yep.
That's honestly pretty just... It helps flesh out archetypes that are not typically seen in most
You
characters.
guys darn right. That means the tree huggers are actually useful. For something other than, here's a berry. Eat it. Now you're full for the day.
Oh, you're talking about druids.
Druids and their good berries, yes. Why do you think I call them tree
I've
huggers?
actually played a druid before, and I never got to cast Goodberry.
I think more so because you were probably playing a survival campaign where they probably would have outright banned Goodberry because...
This wasn't a survival campaign!
What?
This wasn't a survival
campaign. Okay, never mind then. Still, I cannot stand survival campaigns. We'll just be like, oh, you're not allowed to cast this. You're not allowed to play this. You're not allowed to cast this or play this at all because it's gonna ruin.
Okay, straight up, if you want to play a survival campaign, you're going to get a really strange answer from me from this. But do you want to know my genuine answer to this?
What?
Play Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding! Call of Cthulhu's game mechanics actually synergize stupidly well with survival campaigns. There's no contest. If you want to make a survival setting, go look at the Call of Cthulhu handbook and make something. It literally works insanely well. And it's mainly because of the fact that due to how Call of Cthulhu works, most of the player characters have at least some skills that are usable in, like, a survival setting, but none of them are going to be, like, busted in whatever you put them in. All of them will have weaknesses, and due to how the setting is set up, it has true survival portions to it. The players have to actually think of what they're doing, because it's really easy for them to go insane. And going insane is about as bad as starving to death in Call of Cthulhu. So yeah. I'm guessing you were not expecting that, were you?
I didn't expect that at all, but yeah, next time somebody wants to tell me that they're gonna ban something just because they want to run 5e or just because of a survival campaign, I will be like, if you want to play a survival campaign, how about instead of being a jackwagon and restricting the player freedom of choice, run Call of Cthulhu instead?
Honestly, you should probably say it in a different way than that, because genuinely, I find it surprising how few GMs realize Call of Cthulhu works so well for that setting, for that type of gameplay.
But instead they want to be jackwagons and basically restrict...
I think part of it's that they want to do fantasy survival, which the problem is 5e is high fantasy. You can't do survival in high fantasy.
Yeah, especially considering there's the Goodberry spell, there's Warforged, there's the damn...
Oh no, I could literally list off 20 different things that literally break survival. is level 1 characters.
Warforged and Goodberry already are 2 of them.
Warforged, Goodberry, Create Water, Shape Water, Mold Earth, Druidcraft. Do you get the idea?
Druids basically can break a survival campaign in 2.
And Rangers.
Yep. Do you basically have a Warforged, Druid, and a Ranger? Yeah, nobody's done. Nobody's gonna have problems in that.
Or an Auto Gnome.
What?
Or an Auto Gnome. Or a Reborn. Or a Plasmoid.
Oh dear God. That... Yeah, and that's why I hate DMs trying to run survival campaigns. They will basically just outright say, you cannot play this way, because I don't want you to, just because I want this particular setting.
No, particular game feel is more
yeah, it's still
correct.
dumb.
Yeah, again, dearies, if you want to run survival, don't use 5e as the base. Honestly, you're better off making a Dungeon Crawl Classics game than 5e if you want to still run fantasy and still have a survival game.
The problem is, though, more than likely, they'll just be like, but 5e is the most recognizable and mainstream, and if I don't use 5e, it won't gain attention.
Then find some friends first. I'm like, I can't help you if you don't have friends.
Yeah, if you're too stubborn to actually, shed some light on other systems that are arguably gonna be better alternatives for certain campaigns and whatnot, instead of using 5e, that's your own gosh darn fault. If they don't go looking.
I remember one of the dungeon dudes talking about how he kept trying to make 5e into like into this system where they were trying to like do like mysteries of trying to track down monsters like every single week, and he basically learned that it bloody didn't work, and he eventually found a system that did exactly what he was looking for super easily.
It's called Monster of the Week.
Yeah, that's it. It is like, why couldn't I find this when I was trying to do this?
It's because probably people bury it and suppress the information about it just to make sure 5e is always the top dog in tabletop roleplay.
It's why I don't pay attention to the haters for different systems. But let's see here. We were at occultism, unholy and knowledge of the forbidden, creatures such as aberrations, fiends, and undead, practices of secret cults, and the signs of their presence.
Okay, heresy! Heresy.
Honestly, that's also a very good skill to have, because of it makes it easier to identify.
In other words, a devil hunter style character would always have occultism and what was the other one?
I think the main one we've been looking at is occultism. Probably investigation.
Yeah, occultism and investigation.
Religion, holy mana, relics, auras, symbols. Creatures such as deities, celestials, angels, religious rites, prayers, hierarchies, and practices. Work with your GM if you should choose one of these skills or make up your own custom lore that fits the PC, campaign, or world better. Honestly, this is pretty good. We now have charisma skills. Calming, attempt to...
Yeah, starting with animal.
Yeah. calming and communicate. Okay. Well, let's see here. Each skill. Okay, so these are still based off of your skills. I want to see later on if there's like ways to like improve the base skills, because if so, I could see someone putting a bunch of points into the put like a bunch of specialties into the animal skill and basically be trying to like tame literally everything the party comes across.
At the expense of the party.
What do you mean at the expense of the party?
Oh boy, do I have a story for you.
Oh, then let me go get my mangoes. I want my mangoes. My mangoes are needed. My mangoes are required.
You must acquire additional mangoes.
Back.
Ready to hear the story?
Yep.
So, I had to deal with this person named Foxington III. They had a very, very stupid character that I remember. So basically, the point you speaking of taming, right? So basically, they had their character was incubating 3 basilisk eggs in their bodies. Look,
In what? In their bodies?
3 basilisk eggs.
No, I get the eggs, but what do you mean in their bodies?
As in they were it was in their belly. Like they were kind of like this weird snake thing.
Ah.
Yeah. Even though we'd already dealt with a basilisk and knew how dangerous these things were, and my character didn't want to deal with any of it.
Ah.
And basically, I was just sitting
No.
there like, okay, I'm gonna bide my time. When you least expect it, I will strike and try to destroy those eggs.
You do realize basilisks imprint on the first creature they see, right?
I don't give a heck. I don't want to have to risk dealing with these things in case that party member goes rogue.
Okay, good point.
And trust me, I've seen this person's characters do exactly that. Multiple
Oh,
times.
okay, now I understand better.
In fact, he quite literally had a weird freaking rogue named Dick, who stole from everyone. And as a result of his actions, the party had to suffer the consequences associated with his character at one point. So basically, the moment I basically tried to...
Was this Crow?
What?
Was this Crow?
No, different guy.
Okay. I was asking because if I remember you complaining about a guy from the server who you eventually caught cheating, and I think that was Crow, right?
No, I believe that was I believe that was Will-O-Wisp, actually, aka Jack.
Yes, that's who I'm thinking.
Then no, it was not him. Foxington was a different guy.
Okay.
So, anyways, the moment I actually tried to put my mind to it and decide to try and destroy the eggs, while my character was under the mind control of a vampire, he's like, "You're targeting me! You're targeting me!" No.
Oh my good. Wait. If you're under the mind control of a vampire, was the GM making decisions for you or what?
It was a weird thing, okay? Basically, I was rolling within it at the time. So I'm just sitting here like, how can I benefit from being mind controlled like this? So I was being opportunistic at this given point in time.
Okay, I get you.
So I was basically like, this could be my opportunity to destroy the basilisk eggs. And so then Foxington decided to say that, oh, I'm targeting him. He's lucky I didn't think to use a bludgeoning attack instead of a slashing attack against the eggs. Because if I used bludgeoning, guess what? Those eggs would have been destroyed very easily.
Fair.
But he still said, "Oh, you're targeting me! You're targeting me!"
But I was more meaning like something that people understand a little more that can be tamed. That like a person trying to hatch like an owlbear, a baby dragon.
But basilisk, I'm just sitting there like, no, and because I know I have very sneaking suspicions about that guy. Every time he plays a character, I'm just sitting there like,
no, I'm saying someone that actually is good about the animals that they recruit.
Ah, fair enough. Still, the moment I get paranoid about that guy's character, I'm just sitting like, I am going to make your mission be an utter hell to complete, whether you like it or not.
Fair. Alright. But yeah, I was basically referring to like them putting like mastery points or whatever into animals so that way they could actually use communicate with more different types of creatures rather than just beasts. Because if so, that'd actually be really interesting.
Indeed it is.
I always love it whenever a GM rolls and lets you use animal handling for monstrosities. That's always a cool thing in my book.
Okay, I gotta admit, that does sound kind of cool. Oh.
There's a reason why I love, like, the... I believe there's a Beast Tamer class in the... Oy vey. It's in one of my freaking...
Now you know my history as to why I hate animal tamers sometimes.
Fair.
Especially in the hands of a problem player. I'll just sit there like, okay, so I'm not a DM, but I'm still gonna make your life a living hell for trying to get a creature on your side if you want to be a dick about it.
Fair. But yeah. Honest, in that book, the subclasses let you go ahead and choose additional types of creatures to be your companion other than beasts. Like, you can do monstrosities, you can do oozes, and I know there was another type. I keep wanting to say construct, but I don't think that was it.
On top of that, another one of the things this guy did to piss off the entire party was literally try to kill an essential NPC.
Boo! move.
And he tried to say, but it was an accident.
Okay, that's a bad actor. That makes me think of freaking Cobweb. And if you said after that, wait, who?
Who the heck's Cobweb?
I would have been like, what?
Who the heck's Cobweb?
Cobweb was a person that basically ended up getting me kicked from a table because of the fact that Ian himself kicked as well.
So he dragged you down with him.
Kind of. I was kicked basically the next session, and it was all because of the fact of the way the GM portrayed the freaking mayor, because of the... Oy vey, that's a completely different story. We're trying to focus on the system.
Ah.
We're on insight. Discerning intent. Evaluating threat. That's actually good to have listed here. Influence. Convincing, misleading. So basically, deception is rolled into influence. Inspiration. And negotiate. Very nice. Awareness. See, hear, smell. And then we have a trade.
Trades. You got your alchemy, blacksmithing, brewing, carpentry, cartography, cooking, cryptography, disguise, gaming, glass blowing, herbalism and illustration, jeweler, leatherworking, lockpicking, masonry, musician, sculpting, theater, tinkering, weaving and vehicles.
The weird thing is, one thing on this list jumps out at me insanely.
Vehicles?
No!
And what?
There's one thing that jumps out at me insanely, and it's not something most people would pick up on the first time they would actually look at this list.
Then what?
Cryptography.
What the heck? Oh, right. I could just... let's see. Where is the...
16. It's the first thing listed under subterfuge.
Oh, okay. Converting messages into secret or disguised words.
Cryptography is also used for deciphering such things.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. So long as the written language is the same, as in the written letters are the same, do you actually realize how busted cryptography can be?
Oh, just imagine if someone used a mixed language cipher for that thing. Like, it's written in no one particular language.
Exactly!
Oh, that'd be so clever and I love it.
Yes! And this is why that jumped out at me. Because of literally, if you had more than one language proficiency in cryptography, you could do some incredibly ingenious things. Not to mention, it literally makes puzzles about having to figure out what's written on something really easy. Like, this is like both a puzzle maker's GM and a puzzle solving player's absolute wet dream to come true, seeing how this is written in this.
And then followed by the post-wet dream clarity. Being like, yes. Just with that big old grin on their face.
And also, this thing also adds on top of, well, I'm not talking about cryptography now. I'm jumping around this section a bit. Cartography also stacks on top of knowledge, nature, and survival in a way that would basically make you like, you are the guy people go to help them go places.
You are the guide. You'd probably make a booming tourist business too.
Honestly, it'd be less a tourist business and a more of a safe travel business.
Yep. And you could charge some pretty hefty prices given your expertise.
Okay, it'd probably be less hefty prices because of, if this is a world where teleportation is common, that'd be hard to do. But like, because of the people that are asking for your services are not people of high class.
Right.
But you would basically be like a godsend to most people.
Yep.
So you are like the local hero actually helping people manage to get stuff done at the local level. It's honestly pretty like endearing.
Well, I'll be. So many of these skills give vast roleplay potentials. Good lordy, why the heck? Ah!
Some of these descriptions are a little lacking. Like, I would really like it if the cooking thing here had a bit more like
to it.
Yeah. Even though cartography is only one sentence, because of what's already been said about nature and survival, cartography doesn't need that much.
Well, I've
Cooking probably
I've
does.
got some words for you about the cooking skill, just so they could work on it. And here's a bit of a pun. Let the dude cook.
Oh, the herbalism kit already stacks with medicine.
Ooh.
It kind of does that in most systems too, but here they actually have it worded in a way that it's very clear how it would help you. Leatherworking stacks with survival because of the hunting aspect.
Yeah, leatherworking could honestly also work if you're doing a monster hunter. Or, like, not like literally monster, but, like, the world of the game series, Monster Hunter.
I get you, but I'm looking at this through the eyes of, how this works in conjunction with everything else. It's funny, we've gotten through less than a dozen pages, and we've had this much to talk about.
We have gone down a rabbit hole the likes of which we've never done before already.
Interesting. Calligrapher's supplies and cryptographer's tools are different. Oh no!
Oh no, what do you mean?
I just had a rather fiendish idea.
What?
Someone who has multiple languages, cryptographer's tools, and calligrapher's supplies proficiencies.
Oh no! No! Oh no! Oh, that is evil!
You could literally have someone make a painting piece with a cipher in multiple languages in it.
Oh no! It's Da Vinci's Code all over again!
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. They have a separate theater proficiency. Interesting.
Ooh. Excuse me?
Now, why on earth, if you took musician as a trade attribute, would you ever take piano? Why would you ever do that?
I don't know. But it's like, oh no, oh no, and of course they have bagpipes in here. Oh no!
Listen to my bagpipes.
Oh no!
Bagpipes are amazing, and you will never tell me otherwise.
It really depends on who's playing them. Because there are good bagpipes, and then there's terrible bagpipes.
And then they're so amazing you wonder what you've done all of your life.
But yeah, those are few and far between. Most of the time it's either good or terrible and obnoxious.
Dude, we better get you to listen to more of them because of they're amazing.
Oh no. No. No!
I've also been forcing anyone that's actually joined the chat to be listening to polka, so they've also been listening to the accordion.
Oh no! Not the accordion! Oh, thank goodness there's no accordions in this musician's skill. Whew. Whew.
What I would do is that I would have a brass quintet following the party.
Oh no! Oh no!
If anyone here ever makes a video game soundtrack, I have 3 words of advice for the soundtrack. Add more brass. However much brass you've added to the soundtrack, it's not enough.
There is a measure of there being too much brass, though.
Never.
And yet you have the Doom series, which never uses brass, to my knowledge.
Then it still isn't enough.
It's literally heavy metal music playing while you're...
I get that. I'm saying that because of... I have never found a piece where adding a trumpet or a trombone has made the piece sound worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, why would you need that? It's for a soundtrack where you're in the middle of fighting and killing demons by shooting them down with big old guns.
Try thinking of it this way. Try going ahead and picturing the sound fact of Meta Knight's Revenge for Doom music. Because a Meta Knight's Revenge is a song where the entire bass line is trumpet. Honestly, masonry, carpentry, and brewing and cooking are probably some of the weaker ones here. More so because of, unless you're doing like a settlement building thing, those skills in particular probably wouldn't be brought up all that much. Wait. There is a common language and a human language. Interesting.
Oh, no.
Consume. Okay. Common is basically a universal language, but humans is actually not common. That's interesting. Wait a note. The history of each language will be included in the near future. Good to know. I like that. Which means, guess what? We're on to masteries. Almost nearly when I need to go to bed. Mastery represents the level of competency within different categories. When you have mastery with something, you gain certain bonuses to actions to use that mastery. Firstly, when you lack mastery with something, you may suffer certain penalties. Several types of mastery. Skill mastery, trade mastery, language mastery, and combat mastery. You gain masteries from your class features, and subclass features. And note there are no subclass features yet, because of subclasses for every class come at level 3 in this. You have opportunities at character creation when your PC level is up to select a variety of options to gain any of these masteries. Skill mastery represents your proficiency with the skill. There are several skill mastery levels, ranging from novice to grandmaster. Each increasing level of skill mastery grants greater bonuses in which you have mastery. 5 skill mastery levels, you can spend skill points to increase your skill mastery level in a given skill, up to the maximum skill mastery of 5. Each skill mastery level grants you a +2 bonus on the respective skill check. The table below shows the bonuses granted by different mastery levels. So basically, this is Pathfinder 2 mastery. I like that. You can spend skill points to gain skill mastery up to your skill mastery limit. Skill mastery limit starts at novice and increases based on your character level as shown below. BC has skill mastery limit of adept. They can allocate up to 2 in a single skill such as awareness. The PC has additional skill points to allocate. They can't allocate limit to awareness till their skill mastery increases to expert or higher. Okay. That's interesting, especially considering as of right now we only have levels 1 and 2. Gain skill mastery from your skill points or directly from skill mastery increases. You gain skill points from your background class intelligence if it's positive, and possibly from talents you choose. Talents are feats, by the way.
I see.
Ooh, your background automatically gives you 5 skill points. All classes grant additional skill points based on your level, and some grant more than others, such as Bard and Rogue. Talent skills. Some talents, such as skill increase, grant additional skill points. Intelligence skills. You gain a number of skill points equal to your intelligence. If your intelligence is negative, then your total skill points is reduced by the same amount.
I hate that already.
Bear in mind, it's the same way in Pathfinder. You have a certain number of skill points you gain on level up. If your intelligence is negative, the amount of skill points you gain on level up is decreased by that amount. No matter what class you're playing. So playing a -1 int barbarian does mean you only get 1 skill point a level in Pathfinder, if I remember right. But remember, you can only get a -2 in a particular, in your intelligence. So what that means is that the total amount of skill mastery you have would only be decreased by 2 and not by like 2 per level, unless it specifically states that. Actually, no, it states that that wouldn't be the case anyways, since it just says your total skill points change by an equal amount. Skill mastery increases through class features and ancestry traits. Some classes, such as Rangers, grant skill mastery based on chosen feature options. Some ancestries, such as humans, gain skill mastery. When you spend a skill point on a knowledge skill, you gain a bonus skill point that you can allocate to the same skill or a different knowledge skill up to your skill. Well, you kind of have to put it in a different skill at level 1 because of your skill mastery limit at level 1 is novice, which is 1 point. You dumb freaking document. Oh my goodness. That right there seems like a big smack to the face once I read it.
Word salad.
Oh, that was gloriously stupid.
Word.
When you make a skill check using a skill in which you lack mastery, you don't gain a skill mastery bonus on that check. Certain abilities might require a certain level of mastery to perform. There are a lot of possibilities here. Trade mastery. Basically the exact same information. Starts at novice. Yep, that is literally the exact same information, copy and pasted, but changed like 5 words in the entire paragraph.
Yeah.
Your background gives you 3 trade points. All classes grant additional trade points based on your level, and some grant more than others, such as Artificer. So alright, Artificer gaining more additional trade points. That's nice. Some talents, such as trade increase, grant additional trade points. Some ancestries grant mastery with specific trades. You can convert 1 skill point into 1 trade point, but not the other way around. Interesting. Okay, I really like that. I really like that. Also, you start with 3 trade points, meaning that everyone in the party can start with 3 different novice proficiencies for their tools, which is already a large selection. I like that, since how often do tools come up in 5e?
Not that often.
And already you're being given so many choices. You can literally flavor your character so much here. That's amazing.
Anyways, it's time for you to go to bed.
Alright.
Off to bed, Mr. March, March, March.
Okay. We're going to end things here for now. We'll see you all again on Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy our work. We didn't get very far, but we did have a lot to say on all of this. We started a little late tonight, honestly.
That's because I had to help him get some materials ready for our next project.
Though, I was hoping he would do the research tomorrow so we could have started a little earlier, which I mentioned to him like 5 separate times.
What, the research on the...
Different things,
Oh,
yeah.
right, the memory card and the external disk drive. At least
Yeah.
at least I send you the links to the supplies, though.
Fair. So like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy our work, and please do share our content and join the Discord. It really does help us out. Follow us here on Twitch and on YouTube in order to come aboard the Starship LP with our hero, villain.
And don't forget to check out my channel too, Berserker Bahamut. There's spaces between.
There's links in the description.
Yes.
Or NPC. I put all our games over.